What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and things are literally getting crazy here. In this episode, take a look here. Vladimir Putin is planning the best way to attack the United Kingdom by sending spy ships to map infrastructure on the British coast. This is according to British military police. And also how he could do this to the US as well. Also, China says that both sides of the Taiwan Straits belongs to China, which means that the Chinese or that the US warships that have literally just went through the Taiwan Straits are impeding on Chinese territory. That both sides of the Taiwan Straits belong to China. So that means that Taiwan can't even sail through their own Taiwan Strait. I know, you let me know your thoughts on this, because so basically China owns everything. And remember here that international law says that you own 12 miles from your border, from your land out to sea, is considered your territory. Not just everything, not all of the entire coast. You get 12 miles of the water is considered your territory. China says, oh no, the entire Taiwan Strait is ours on both sides. Yeah, China's foreign ministry, King Jiang, said on Friday that both sides of the Taiwan Strait belong to China and that it is right and proper for China to uphold its sovereignty. Basically, they're making up excuses for them to be able to attack any ships that are in the region, including potentially U.S. ships that go there. They made the remarks at the Lantine Forum in Shanghai, where he discussed a wide range of topics from debt to the global economy and Taiwan. And this could be potentially a false flag event where they could be setting up the reason for taking over Taiwan. Quote, recently there has been absurd rhetoric accusing China of upending the status quo, disrupting peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. The logic is absurd and the conclusion is dangerous. It is not the Chinese mainland, but the Taiwan independence separatist forces and a handful of countries attempting to disrupt the status quo. Those who play with fire on Taiwan will eventually get themselves burned. Yeah, and this comes after China surrounded Taiwan just a few days ago and practiced military drills of attacking Taiwan. They completely surrounded it, and this is what they simulated. Yeah, so a lot of military experts think that this could be happening sooner rather than later. Next, Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, is planning the best way to attack the United Kingdom by sending spy ships to map infrastructure on the British coast. This is according to the British military police are saying this. Yeah, new information that Moscow is sending ships to spy on the British coast shows that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is exploring ways to attack the UK and its European allies, said a conservative member of the parliament, Bob Seeley. He said, quote, my fear is that Putin is gauging options to attack the West, should he wish to escalate, without triggering a NATO military response. And this is where it gets interesting, or fearful. You can let me know your thoughts on this. He wrote, the military police for the Isle of Wight, in a Thursday commentary for The Telegraph. Seeley is a former British military officer with the PhD in a Russian military strategy. Seeley's concerns were sparked by new reports that Russia has been conducting naval reconnaissance on NATO members on a massive scale. A joint investigation by public broadcasters in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland on Wednesday revealed that a fleet of Russian boats disguised as fishing or research vessels have been spying in the North Sea, looking for ways to sabotage wind farms, basically energy grids, and undersea cables. And think about what happened with the Nord Stream pipeline, which there's been an array of theories on who did it. The covert operation also threatens the UK energy and communications infrastructure, the Telegraph reported, saying, quote, there can be only one reason for this: to learn how to sabotage the UK and European critical infrastructure in the event of a full-scale war with the West. Seeley added that Russia and China are preparing for war and that the UK is not ready for such a scenario. That does not mean that conflict will happen, but we must urgently recognize the extent of the threat to the current order. Seeley said, quote, for the last 20 years, Putin has actively sought ways to attack the West without leaving a clear cause for retaliation. Could we really risk war on a suspicion? Putin knows this. Like sabotaging key infrastructure like fuel depots or underwater cables. Think what happened with the Nord Stream pipeline through illicit groups is one method. He wrote, constituent covers in the UK's southernmost territory on the British coast said the UK and its northern allies are dangerously exposed at sea. There are more communication cables, about 70 in all, but a relatively small number of deep sea sabotage operations could bring our world to a halt without a shot being fired. So basically, what he's saying, and also maybe alerting Putin to this, not that they maybe would have thought about this already, but what he's saying is what's something similar to what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline could also happen to the United Kingdom, to European countries, and also maybe to the United States, to energy grids, to wind farms, to undersea pipelines, to undersea cables, to all sorts of things. We've also, if you watched my previous video, you've seen that Russia is already targeting SpaceX satellites. SpaceX controls about half of all satellites in the world now. And they're already targeting these, okay? So Russia is targeting a lot of things. They've been hacking US websites, database, government sites. This has been happening here for several years. So the problem here is that Russia is getting away or trying to get away with anything they can. And if they go and attack pipelines, energy infrastructure, or anything of the sort in the darkness of night and say, it wasn't us, and this is, big stuff, could you really go and attack Russia in retaliation if they say, we don't know who did it? So think about that. And multiple countries are saying that they have seen or think that it's Russia under cover of spy ships disguising themselves, doing reconnaissance. So you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments because things are getting pretty pretty dicey. So if you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date here. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the bell icon after you subscribe. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on any new videos here. And also thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. Trillions of dollars are about to be approved here in the United States. Click here to see that video. Or US troops are on the ground in Ukraine. That's right. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.